All right, welcome back to another video. It is August 30th, and actually we had this little cold front. And down here in I used to say South Louisiana in my videos, in Mississippi, a cold front just means that the humidity is down to about 40 or 50% or maybe lower, I don't know. But it's still in the mid to high 80s, low 90s, but it does feel way better. But we have cloud cover today, so it's getting a little better. We both my son's camera and my camera are both dead. They've been taking so many pictures. Mine has been dead for about 3 weeks now. It's hard to believe it's been that long since we've been up here. I'm trying to think when the last time I was up here. I don't know. I'm going to have to check my previous videos. But my son's died about 3 days ago. He's been having some does, little bitty fawns. If I can remember, I'll post a picture of that, the spotted fawns and stuff like that. And I don't know what's going to mine. So had to pick up some more double down protein. I don't know what else anything else looks like. I will tell you, and I'll be honest with you, because on all my videos, even on my crypto channel, I'm honest with everybody. The action has slowed down a lot. Where before I came here and freshened everything up, I had deers of does, bucks and velvet, bucks where antlers just started coming out, and they were hitting the double down protein, they were hitting the salt lick, trophy rock, and they were also hitting the Dynalik in the ground. They came back here and did a bunch of spraying, clearing some of this out. A lot of activity has died. Now I still have a couple of does here or there. Every day, every other night, might have one doe here, another doe here, another doe here, but it's nowhere been as hot and heavy as it was, I'm gonna say June and July. But another thing is, it's been hot as hell. And I think these deer just ain't moving in this heat. Even at night, it's in the upper 80s, sometimes lower 90s up here. I think these deer ain't worried about it. I am surprised that I don't have really any pictures hitting that water that I had, but I'm still keeping that water there. I'm gonna keep it freshened up. But so before I made it up here to the camp, I stopped in Columbia and went to town, and I think it's called Town and Country Farm Supply or something like that. They're the local providers here of double down, and picked up 2 more bags of double down, 1 for each feeder. But also I wanted some Mobucks to kind of, because my feeders have trays in them, which I really don't know how long I'm gonna keep those up for, because I do have some raccoons going in them at night. But I wanted to get some Mobucks. However, they are out of Mobucks, but they sell their own version of Mobucks, which is supposed to be very similar. We'll see when I open up the bag. But I have those 3 trays on my feeders, and my plan is to put double down on both sides, and in the middle, the furthest away from any kind of moisture, put some of the Mobucks down, just because with it being September, I don't know if I'm doing any bow hunting here, but I want something just to kind of start maybe pulling some deer in. I don't want to start putting corn just yet, but I still want to keep the protein going. I don't know how long I'm going to keep this protein going, because the guys in Texas that told me they were using this, they quit at some point transitioning into hunting season. They don't keep this going up, even though this really don't cost that much more than what corn cost, but we know that corn's going to draw them in too. So I don't know yet. I still got another month or 2. I'm the kind of person that if it is 90 degrees out here, 85 degrees, I'm not bow hunting. That's why I don't do a lot of bow hunting down here. I do it in Missouri, because it'll be 30 degrees, but not here, that's for sure. So I don't know how much bow hunting I'm gonna get done. The rifle season doesn't open up till Thanksgiving week, but we might be hunting somewhere else for that week, and y'all have to stay tuned for that. But let me go ahead and get this stuff piled up on a 4-wheeler. My son is, he's off to college now, so big college man. Don't have time to go with his daddy to hunting camp and do work. He's too busy doing what college boys do, So I'm up here by myself, and we'll get it done. And on top of that, my 4-wheeler would not start last night. I don't know because it's been sitting up for a month and a half. Even though I put fuel treatment stuff in it, I don't know. The last time it wouldn't start, I had to bring it to somebody to clean out the carburetor and all kinds of stuff, or the gas tank. It had junk in the bottom of it. So now I'm on his 4-wheeler, which is a little bit smaller than mine, but we'll make it work. All right, let's get to it. All right, so I am just walking up for the first time. Just getting here, and I'm cleaned out again. Now listen, I'm not new to the outdoors. Raccoons are thieves. Um, this is where the Dynalik was, and I wanted to buy some more to freshen it up. The next time I come out here next month, I probably will freshen up. We got a good trail through here. This is my camera that's dead. Next property over is that way. They got a food plot that's back there, and you know, they sprayed this last time they're here trying to thin it out. When it gets a little bit cooler next month, I am planning on trying it out. And I haven't decided if I'm going to make this a permanent stand for me, that I'm going to hunt a lot. It really matters what I see this year. But if I'm planning on staying in here another year, I really would like to get a more permanent stand and putting it further up this way. Or there's a slight hill that you can barely see that goes up, and putting it further back. There's a lot of, this is a high area here. This is kind of open over here, and it gets thick in here. And I walked through there last hunting season when it was cooler, in a little bit better shape, because it was tough. But there was rubs all in here, scrapes all in here, tracks all in here. These trees with these pine trees, it's very hard to put a climber in here. They all got these nubs and stuff all over them. So, you know, there's no really good oak trees or something good to put a tree stand in. But I'd like to, you know, I'd like to spend a little bit of money and put a nice stand in there with the 4x4s or whatever they are to go into the ground. But we'll see. We'll see how that's looking. Water is filled up with all that rain they had recently. And they're still hitting. You can see that's not erosion. They're actually still hitting and biting off of this trophy rock. So trophy rock still hitting, but this is completely empty. Again, I know raccoons did help out with some of this, but you know, I got pictures of deer eating it. So we'll see how this all goes. Let's go ahead and start loading all this, taking all this off the four-wheeler, start loading this up and changing out batteries on Mr. Camera over there. All right, we are done somewhat. This is gonna end up being almost a wasted trip. But we do have double down here, double down that side, and this new version. And I'm gonna tell you, this does smell. It actually smells better than Mobucks, at least to me. I'm not a deer, but you know, whether it stays fresh in humidity or what, I don't know. But we're not gonna be able to find out because the key to my lock is no longer on my keychain. My keychain seems to be 2 or 3 keys lighter. My janitor said here. And there is no key. I'm missing the key for my padlocks. I'm gonna go back and look at my truck and see if it somehow possibly fell off, but I doubt it. I've had to buy the key before. Maybe I need to buy 2 and keep 1 inside of my truck. So I'm not gonna be able to change the batteries on either one of the cameras, which means I'm gonna have to take another trip up here in another weekend or 2 and get these batteries changed out, which sucks when it's a 2.5 hour ride from the house. But hey man, it is what it is. That's my luck. But let's go ahead and move over to my son's stand and go get that freshened up. So this is the new one. It says it's made by Kentwood Co-op. These people said it was made for them. I don't know if that's true or not. You know, I don't know better. But it doesn't have their business name on it. But it just said they said this is what we sell. We don't sell deer. I mean the Mobucks. But whole corn, processed grain byproducts, cane molasses, and artificial flavor. You can definitely smell that molasses, that's for sure. So this is called Wild Game Treat. Treat them before you eat them. That's awesome. But we'll try anything. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Maybe that'll all be gone by the time I come back in 2 or 3 weeks with a key. All right, now we're at my son's stand. He is wiped out also. Again, look, I know raccoons can do some damage, but we got some deer eating off of it. His water's right here, and I do find his trophy rock is not as ate up as mine, but again, we have a doe and spotted fawn that come in from right here because they pass right by this camera. I don't know if they're even coming down this trail right here, this road that the tractors come in on, or they're just coming from this bottom, because you can see how low this bottom goes. And then they'll come here, play around with this, fiddle around with this, and then they will continue up this way. Now, this is his Dynalik site right here. I see some tracks. Now there's a track directly inside of it right there. No, whether or not they're messing with it, I don't know. It's kind of dirty, but that's his Dynalik site. What I did find is I found with Dynalik, there's 3 flavors: persimmon, peanut butter, and wild cherry. I have to go back and check my first original video. I'm horrible at taking notes. You think I would take notes and all this stuff as I'm trying different things out, but the first time on my stand, I used either persimmon or peanut butter. And on my son's stand, which was originally down this road a little bit, we used the other one. So that might have been peanut butter. So one of them had persimmon, one of them had peanut butter. Mine, the deer, after about 2 or 3 weeks, were hitting it every day. My sons, they never touched it. When we came here for our last trip about a month ago, I freshened both sites up with wild cherry because I had wild cherry. They haven't really touched the wild cherry one. So I have to go back and find out what's the original one we put down on my site. I'm buying 2 bags of that immediately. So when I come back up here again, I'm freshening both these sites up with whatever flavor that was. I think it was persimmon, but there's no persimmon trees out here. So, hey, it might just smell super sweet. I don't know. So we're gonna go ahead and get this double down and the rest of this fake Mobucks, whatever you want to call it, into here. And told you, even though cloud cover, even with all this cloud cover, even though it's cloud covered, there's just no wind at all, and I'm sweating my brains out. All right, so we got it filled up. If you remember, this is I got the actual frame and the tray from somebody. I added the plywood. And you can see, even though I paid extra for treated plywood, I didn't spray anything on it because I was afraid it would have like a chemical smell if I tried spraying it. But you can easily see 3 months in the woods, it's already taken its toll on it. So I don't know. I've always said, even if I leave this camp, these will be here for the next hunter. I'm not trying to get these things out of here. They were hell. If y'all saw that video, hell getting in here. Still don't know where I'm gonna set my son up for this. He really wants to do a tree stand, but this is the same thing. All these pine trees just have just too much stuff hanging off of it. And technically you're not supposed to cut anything on the pine tree. So I really don't want to take a saw cutting limbs off and get in trouble. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. I really just want to set them up a pop-up barn way on the other side over there. That's what I might do. But when it cools off a little bit more, I'm gonna say like October-ish, I plan on coming through here with a weed eater with one of those saws on the bottom or something, and I'm planning on cleaning a lot of this out. But I don't know what we're gonna do yet. So there are a lot of tracks through here. This is where the doe and that fawn come through every day. And I had them on camera almost every day. You can see this is an old road that the tree company used to use. It is fenced off now with a permanent fence, barbed wire, so they're not using it anymore. Luckily, it hasn't grown back. When I scouted this last season, there were some good scrapes on the ground underneath. This must have been a licking branch, but where that tree's down at, I know y'all can hear I'm out of shape. I'm out of shape bad. I had surgery in July. Wasn't cleared to the doctor, from the doctor till about last week. Been going back in the gym every day and I'm dying. But I'm not gonna be able to walk around during hunting season. But yes, I'd like to try to give him something a little bit elevated where he can see in here, clean some of this out. Not too much, but just clean some of it out. But this is all open up here also. Tell you what, they did get some rain. We were supposed to do a work day today, but possum tracks or something, raccoon tracks. We were supposed to do a work day today, but they said it was too wet to put all the trucks on the trails and stuff like that to get any work done. And you weren't lying. I wouldn't bring my truck down here, that's for sure. Coyote tracks. My dog. Tell you what, all last year I had camera out here. I didn't see a single coyote. And on 2 different cameras, I got coyotes this year, which is rare. You know, I don't know what kind of nuisance hunting they're doing up here or what they do for that, but I'm gonna have to mention it to the board people. I was very worried because I had a doe with a little fawn that I just saw for the first or second time with spots. You could tell only 2 or 3 weeks old. And on one of the camera shots, you see a coyote following the doe and the fawn, and I was very worried about it. But and then for 3 or 4 days later, I only saw the doe. I never saw the fawn, and I figured the fawn didn't make it. And then yesterday, about 3 or 4 days ago, one of the last pictures the camera got before it died, you actually saw the fawn by itself. I don't know if I didn't catch the doe or something. It was behind the camera. So I was kind of happy. At least the doe so far made it. But I know that's nature, but, you know, try to do as best we can to preserve the deer the best we can. All right, and this is also, I know for those who watched my videos before have heard me talk about it countless times, but this is the club stand. We have thousands and thousands and thousands of acres. I don't know how many thousands of acres in this, but it's also broken up into parcels. This whole parcel is where my 2 stands, my son and my stands, further way back the other way, but still in the same kind of parcel. So I like this stand because it actually has like a lounger almost in it. And I had a camera on here and there was always deer on it. Of course not when I was hunting, but every other time when I wasn't here. So I try to save a little bit extra, and y'all know I put it into, try to keep it out the weather as much as possible. But I don't know what the hell happened to this. This looks like mud almost. You can tell something's still eating it or kicking it out or something. I put a trophy rock here last time too, and you can see that trophy rock has had a little bit of eating on it. Some different spots. On this side and this side. So, again, I apologize. I know the microphone picks me up breathing like it sounds like I'm having a heart attack, but it ain't that bad. So I gotta figure out how the hell I'm gonna clean all this out and put some more in here. I don't know if I need to tuck it further back because it looks like these trees have lost their leaves already for some reason. It definitely ain't been cold up here, that's for sure. But I'm gonna try to figure out how to get this out the way a little bit more, you know, or screw it, just put the double down. I got to double down a little bit more of that fake Mobuck stuff. I'm gonna put, I ain't gonna put it mixed because I know that fake Mobuck stuff, as soon as it gets wet, it's ruined. So probably just put that on the side. I don't know. I ain't decided yet. We'll see. All right, so I used an empty bag that I had on the four-wheeler to bring back. And this smells about as good as it looks like it would be to eat. But I guess that's protein when it gets wet and then hot and wet. I don't know what the hell I'm gonna do. I'm gonna have to empty this bag out into there then somehow get this bag in there, because I'm not putting this back in my four-wheeler because this stinks. We'll figure it out. So let's get this filled up. So awesome when the mud gets slung up and it hits you in your back. So now you all got mud on your back and your shirt and your hat and everything else. Coming off that last trail, there's no way my truck would have went through that. That diesel truck would have sunk. This ain't much better. Oh, now I got it all up my leg. That's great. You know I'm not going to a party after this. All right, let's make it back to the truck and put the four-wheeler up and figure out what our next plan is.